Good evening, everybody. This is a Simplivity training session for demo purpose. Myself, I'm a trainer myself, Krishna Jana, already 16 years experience in IT infra. So since last 6 years, I am doing as a HCI specialist. So I work a different horizontal and vertical section like BFSI. So I'm completely fully certified with all HCI solution on the market, mostly Simplivity, Nutanix, and VxWorks is my completely fully expertise. I do end-to-end solutions from since end to completely deployment and implementation, completely successful documentation. Will preach you Simplivity is a completely end-to-end. I deployed most of all over 10 over India. So my biggest customer is Samsonite India, which is American Tourist. They have deployed like DCDR. That basic DC is Mumbai and the DR is in Bangalore. And the next project already we put in Mahindra Infotech Mumbai. This is also the core account. Third is L&T. This is also L&T Infotech. We have also in. And fourth is IIFL. This is that one trading company. We teach to we already deploy for that the security zone. It's like trading are like a fraction of second they need that trading value. So we deployed there. Simply is the good solution. Rubicon is customer. This is a pharma industry. So they are also like used for that page blocking. So this Simplivity is the good solution they are using. Nowadays there is a other project like Kohima Smart City. It is Nagaland. We deployed there also as a Simplivity solution. NCDS there is also is a BFSI, is financial sector. This is Mumbai locations. Those all customers are completely highly scalable and completely full utilization Simplivity satisfied customers they are. So we are that implementation team. So I am the core account member for that implementation and deployment. What is the 3-tier architecture? About that, what is that HCI? And in along with HCI, what is the Simplivity? And the fourth point will be why that Simplivity is market and why the Simplivity you are recommended to customer, the features and functions we are comparison with other HCIs. So we'll come to completely all to all from since to end beginning solution. Will teach you for that the Simplivity all-in-one A to Z solutions. Our course outline will be Simplivity is the completely HCI solution. They use the hypervisor is VMware EXSI. So in EXSI, how they completely control and administration for that DL380 model HPE. So we'll please for that through EXSI, what is the VMware and how the VMware work and what is the DL380s and what purpose of the DL380 will is there. Next, the other hypervisor is Hyper-V, Microsoft Hyper-V. In Microsoft Hyper-V, Simplivity is the next solution. Those customers who are not agree with for the VMware solution, there is the optional to future Hyper-V. We'll teach for that Hyper-V, but nowadays Simplivity it's completely announced. Most of avoid for that Hyper-V solutions. There are a lot of bugs, but still they are doing for that Hyper-V supported. But is as a like optional solution for the Hyper-V. Give about that Simplivity overview WBT. What all that Simplivity to that web-based technology. What is like DCDR, what is for that cloud migrations, all things. So how that Simplivity work will reach you. And another for SC 250, the model, the Simplivity is also as a one entity. So nowadays the SC 250 they still announce HP as a discarded, but some customers they are running. So we'll teach you for that SC 250 also. So that is for all in for the, our course outlines. Our topic will be there are measure in what is hypervisor. So we'll teach about that hardware layer. On top of hardware layer, what is the completely virtualization hypervisor are there in market, and what kind of hypervisor using by Simplivity, and if Simplivity is using EXSI, why they are using EXSI. We'll teach you and briefly, and we'll teach you for that storage process memory. Why the storage process memory will teach you, because the what in current HCI system, the storage process memory is completely different. So how the storage is going to optimum, how the processor is going to optimum, how the memory is memory is going to optimum, and what kind of physical memories. So we'll teach speak about all that briefly, like hardcore. The third point will be the three-tier architecture. So the current customer, if they are using traditional storage with three-tier architecture, it's if it is outdated, how to the customer can change for three-tier architecture to HCI architecture. So the process and the movement, the comparisons, the features, the availability, all things will get conclusion, and will brief you on that three-tier architecture. Then after that we will come to that what is the SCI. If it is a three-tier architecture, if it is outdated, why it is not coming to for the newest three-tier architecture, that is also available. So instead of using new three-tier architecture, why that SCI is coming to the future, we'll teach about that SCI future for the Simplivity. Then we'll talk about that Simplivity, how the Simplivity comes to in market, and after that the history of Simplivity will brief you. Then we'll teach you the fundamental of Simplivity, the Simplivity, the core connectivity, that how they connected, how they work, will teach you. After that, there is a lot of plugins and prerequisites are there. If it is a hypervisor related, if it is a VMware related, all are connected with the plugins. So the plugins where to where, which ports, and how they work, we'll talk about that plugin session, because the plugins is more mandatory for the management perspective. The eighth option is we'll go to the HPE hardware details. For that, the moment when Simplivity acquired by HPE, HPE designed that hardware is for all customers, like is it small or is it big, it is large. So accordingly, the DL380 has been designed as a small form factor, as a large form factor. So we'll brief you for that what is small form factor, what is large form factor. This is the more important if is the sizing perspective. We'll talk about that hardware details. After that, you are completely talking about that hardware management. The hardware management, HPE he has a own ILO. The ILO has is a management board. Will teach about that the hardware optimizations, where we can do for that optimization setting for that hardware management perspective. So in ILO setting, what kind of license are they required? How can we apply the license for the ILO, and how to be that compliance perspective to assign that ILO? Because if it is a banking sector, we need to security perspective, you need to analyze for the ILO hardware management for the VA vulnerability. We'll teach about for that ILO. Then we will come to that EXSI. If because the VMware is the different entity and the HP is different entity. So how that has been merged? What kind of EXSI you are using? What kind of the vCenters are required? We'll talk about that all things one by one. Then the completely architecture come to that in the single module. So we'll talk about that vCenter and the EXSI. And the third option is there is also VCSA. So the appliance, the vCenter server appliance, there is also Linux basis. If the VCSA is there, how the VCSA can be configured, and for the VCS ports are required for that to open for that firewall. So how the VCSA communicate to that Simplivity, those will talk about the ports communication. Then we will come to that Simplivity installation. The installation is like a very scripted and ethical, like intelligent process. So what need to be selected, what the step-by-step documents, what could be the optimization setting, will share you for that Simplivity installation. So that will help you the moment when you will go to on the field. That will be very helpful for that installation perspective. Simplivity installation is like the next process will the hardware selection. How that is Simplivity hardware selection will be there. We'll talk about that arbiter. Arbiter is the one kind of cluster management. Simplivity has a arbiter tools. Create one instance from either a VM or you could take it on the hardware somewhere. So that arbiter is supposed to be install some out of the cluster machine, so that can monitor the cluster. If something happens with the cluster, the arbiter acknowledges and pass through that data from the end user. So we'll talk about that arbiters, how it is working. Then the Simplivity plugins. Then the OmniStack software details. So if that is the Simplivity is a completely bundle, how that the software license are required, and how could be the apply for that license. After that, we will come to the federation. If it is a HCI, if it's a internal data storage, if it is a data locality, how the federation happens, the data federation. If you talk about you have a DB, how the DB, if one node is goes down, the DB can be moved from different node. The data locality, how the federation work will teach you. After that, it is like high availability. The high availability Simplivity cluster, if one node goes down, the other node how can we take the on the VMs, and how could be managed through vCenter? How can be possible to tackle that all that critical things through vCenter will teach you. Then the one, if it is data locality, if we for other 3-tier architecture, if you have a like 1 TB data VM, it will take like number of hours to restore, but in Simplivity it will take 1 minute to restore. We'll share you that documentation how that the Simplivity take that restoration of faster. Then we'll talk about that the data locality. So if there is a storage, so the data locality how could be happens? What is the backend connectivity? What the backend uses for the data locality will teach you. If they will take that Simplivity node for the DCDR provisioning, how that DCDR happens will teach you. Then the capacity planning. If you have a today that 20 VMs are there, so day after tomorrow it is, if it is going to 100 VMs on your cluster, so how the capacity will work and how the dedupe compression will work, we'll talk about that capacity planning. So those are the major subject things. So we'll come to like the step 1, step 2. If it is 50% course complete, we'll do have a like all multiple choice question exam. So that's to be through online. And project 2 also, there is a after complete 100% course, there is a last MCQ exam. This is also is a multiple choice questions. So those are the through online. So you can test that what you gain and what you can do for that in current market. We can find out that. Will help you for that all preparation, study materials, all techie things. These are the our guarantee. We are here for you. Lab setup, there is a lab setup is not available. Even Simplivity doesn't have a no virtual instance. Because of that, the Simplivity learning is very important. It's hard to learn. So that only one way will share you that all the documentation and video, and will teach you for that all theory trainings. The moment when myself if you go to that Simplivity sites, we can share that screen for that physical perspective. Will share you that how that work, and that the physical Simplivity is optional. That moment when you will on the side, we can teach for that the Simplivity real environment. So this is the optional. The moment when we have available, we'll share you. Then this is the mock interview. Teach you that how that Simplivity questions are coming, and we'll share you that provide the reference because we are all 16 years experience. If you have a like some kind of reference, we can give the reference, and we will suggest to that students. So if there is not only suggest, if but also we provide, if the students getting some technical issue through Simplivity, if they call us, we will help you. So this is the our guarantee. Number 2, we teach about not only the Simplivity, whatever that new technologies comes and what is that optimization will be there, will guide for that those students. So this is our completely trainer ability to take to the students full guidance. So certifications, if who are looking for that OEM certifications, will help you for that study to for that to through like DUNS to tile, like whatever the available are there with us, will share you for that OEM certifications. That is our help for the students. Then after course complete, MindMajix will provide you whatever that project 1, project 2, the success ratio will find out, and accordingly will give you that MindMajix certifications. If you're not getting that MindMajix, the OEM certification, MindMajix certification is valuable for you. This is also one kind of completely awareness certificate for that HCI. So this is for us. Then we'll go to for that other side for that what we are on that chapter for that Simplivity. How can we do for the Simplivity step-by-step documentation installations? We'll share you that next PPT. We'll share you that what is Simplivity. Simplivity, which is one of the unique technology solution to provide the hyper-converged infrastructure. This is the one of the Simplivity solutions. The day Simplivity implemented that this is the Simplivity logo, the first Simplivity, but now this has been changed for because HPE has been acquired. So we'll speak about that the new Simplivity. The co-founder, Mr. Ron Campbell, is the Israel guy, but he has the US nationality. First, he was working with the Media Corporation. Then after that, he has joined EMC. Now he is becoming the EMC. That he is a completely technical guy. So he learned from like iMedia, he learned from like Dell EMC. He has grabbed that a lot of things. Then he comes again to join that IBMs. So even he did IBMs also for that 15 months. After that, in 2009, he took all technology from EMC, IBM, iMedia. He understood about that what could be placed for that hyperconverged in the market. So he completely combined that storage, networking, and server industry, like server, storage, network. He get together and he make a one completely all-to-all solution, like HCI solution is called Simplivity. In Simplivity, they start 2009 2017 as a own entity. After that, in 2017, HP acquired that Simplivity through $60 million. So they acquired all Simplivity stacks. So now it became easy, completely HP Simplivity. So the logo has been changed as a it's like this kind of different kind of HP Simplivity logo is like horizontal way. This is completely all through about HP DL380. The current is DL380 Gen 10. So it is complete pure design for that DL380. If you talk about Simplivity, so DL380 is the mother of the Simplivity. This is the completely 2U hardware DL380. So we'll speak about like completely how that DL380 generation 10 fully details. HP Simplivity DL380 based on a HP Pro line DL380 generation server. There is nothing changes. If you take about HP Pro line 38 generation, this is the server only. There is not a different thing, but there is a something different. There is a OVC card. This is the most changes in that HP DL380. So there is a lot of things are there. It is performance is there, dramatic improvement is there, efficiency, management, protections. There are a lot of key features are available in that DL380. So it is more completely not comparable. It's from traditional architect and HCI. It's a completely huge difference through SCI and traditional. So the 5 elements are there. It is very scalable, and it is world-class performance, and there is a dramatic improvement that for the efficiency. And fourth is management, and fifth is protections. Those all 5 elements are available in the single 2U DL3 model. It is completely end-to-end solutions. If it is a for the VA point, if you talk about everything is improved, there is nothing is missing. So because of people, they are choosing HP Simplivity. So we'll talk about that how that will be scalable. The number one is a full benefit for the high availability. There is a strongly recommended that HP Simplivity Gen 10 is clusters minimum of the 2 node. If you talk about that 2 node cluster, only one HCI solution is in the market. 2 node cluster high availability is providing. If you talk about other HCI, there must be 3 node, there must be 4 node. So we'll speak briefly who are required 2 node, who are required 4 node, who are required 3 node. That is the deep solutions we'll teach for you. And this 2U rack, the single federation, it is up to 16 node, but the fully rack, it's supposed to complete up to 96 nodes. Already I deployed till to 16 rack, 16 to your modules. So there is nothing to do. All I will share you for that how to manage that all one by one steps for that 16 to your models. What is in that how that is the memory size is there. It's how can be that processors are there, how that networks are there. We'll speak. There are lot of variations and so HP is all completely designed is for that LFF and SFF. So we'll speak for that briefly. So the processor is G1 processors, memory is 128 GB, is up to 3 TB for single node. So I mean 24 DIMMs are you can put on the single node. So it is going to 3 TB. So the network are available for 10G and 1G. So we'll segregate for the data with 10G. For management, we segregate to 1G. So these all things will happen from that hypervisor level. So there is two power supply redundant. So if one goes fail, there is then another redundant. So there is nothing to worry. So one power goes, it is a different power supply. So the virtualization software. So the Simplivity virtualization software license, what they are required and how the license will there will tell you about the SBD versions. So 7.2, 7.6, we'll talk about the all versions, what are the comparisons. And we'll talk about the form factors. This is the completely hardware related things. We'll speak about that the software future, because it is already independent from that VMware. So the day who is the Simplivity techie, he or she needs supposed to be understand that VMware environment. First, it's supposed to be access. Second, it will be vSphere. So that all will teach for that VMware infra as a like completely fully trained, like how that will be managed, how that will be traffic is going, how that VLAN is moving, all things will load that as a vSphere level. So that Simplivity, who are that taking like VMware infra, will teach about that. But some of that less customer they have Microsoft Hyper-V. So Microsoft Hyper-V Simplivity has a plugins for SCCM, System Center Configuration Manager. Who are taking for that Hyper-V, SCCM is mandatory. So before BOQ, we have to awareness for the customer for that SCCM is mandatory. This is the main point. So using through SCCM will manage that Simplivity. This is and there is a data encryption and rapid DR that the optionals, which customers are there looking for the data encryptions, will optional is there, and rapid DR also there is optionals. So we'll talk about that the Simplivity, what hardwares are designed and how they are looking, and how can we rectify for that. So edge buffer, access panel, direct PCI riser gates, primary and secondary PCI riser gates, chassis, ears, and fan guide. So those are the basic external components for that DL380. Whatever that the mechanism problems comes, the moment when you up that Simplivity, we have to aware for that completely how that can be removed and how can be that plugins and what is the safe instance will teach you for that all step by step. So and the manual guides also will help you. Not only this all DL380 HP servers, that is for well advantage for EU people. This is that external component. Then we are computing the internal component, who are the buses, the PCI buses, processors, heat sinks, power supplies, smart RE controllers, host bus adapters, system boards, system battery. We'll all speak about like how they are connected and how they work. So we'll brief you on that for a one by one. So if somebody purchase like 6 module A and 6 module B, so if they are increasing the RAM, what is the rule procedure and how they are going to insert the RAM. The whole step-by-step document, upgrade step-by-step document will assist you. Same thing, there are dual sockets are available for DL380. If some customers they want to upgrade the processor for that, they purchase the single socket. If they are going to dual socket, how can be happen the dual socket? We'll talk about like the PCI cards, how they work and how that can be installed as a proper manner, and how the connectivity will happens. Through the technical, we'll share you our experience. Already we did very satisfied by lot of times in there. Will help you for that. Most of that people who are doing, they do the short circuits. So will help you avoid the short circuit, because this is a huge expensive components. So how to do will help you for that all components to handle. Already I said that memory instruction, how that memory can rectify that wise. So we'll share you like what need to be failed, how that DIM are there, NVDIMs are there, PMMM are there. So what kind of RAMs are there and how they work, how the speeds, what is the current situations. We'll talk about like for that if there is a database, if the RAM size is this kind of things, how that database can use the RAM as a very proper manner. We'll speak for that all technical for the random access memory. Then we'll come to that that IOS, input output, the connectivity. So how that the to your front end and back end connectivity. So this is the most important things for that directions. If something happens, the changes, the cluster becomes down. So the major things, who is handling that Simplivity cluster, is supposed to awareness for that connectivity. This is the major things. So the HCI backbone is the connectivity. So we'll guide you and will assist you for that real connectivity. And if it is something happens with connectivity issue, what is the problems, will also teach you. This is the most important thing for connection. Who are the well experienced, they can only share you for that. So you are for here, will help you for that completely connectivity. We'll talk about the OmniStack accelerator card, how that work, and what is the future, key future. OmniStack accelerator is the only most key feature in Simplivity. If you talk about like other HCI, OmniStack is the completely primary solution for that. So this is the PCI EX card. We'll brief you for that PCI Express card. What is the bus speed, how that will connect, what is that front view, what is the top view, what could be the redundancy for the PCI card. This is a completely fully technical session for that PCI card. So we'll preach you for that completely how that PCI card works. So we'll share you if the power downs, how the PCI card should save the data, save the logs, push the logs. All things will be share you as a proper manner. This is our OmniStack accelerator cards. So the OmniStack accelerator card, the speed is like 80 GB per second. So because of that, it helps to copy the 1 TB data within 1 minute. So it is FPGA, is a field programmable gate array that is completely designed for CLBS, configurable logical blocks. So that PCI is a completely vast infrastructure. It can be used different some artificial intelligence, some laboratories for the geological laboratories. They're usually like the FPGAs work for that completely everywhere in every industry. The Simplivity they use for the CLB trick, the configure logic block tricks help to completely data locality one node to other node. That is the most advantage in that Simplivity FPGA. So we'll brief you on this completely how that will happens, and we'll say you that how that Simplivity FPGA cards and what is the processor inside, what is the memory inside, what is the NVMe flash, how can we optimize that NVMe RAMs. It's what is the super capacity capacitors, so what they do the super capacitors in that array. So and how that the capacitors if they are getting heat, how that can be optimized. So we'll this is a completely memory boards. So the memory board will speak completely as a full way end-to-end solution. So the OSC card. So the moment Simplivity, there are two types card. It's OVC and OmniCube and OmniStack. So the OmniCube cards already they stopped. Now the OmniStack is running. The Simplivity is running for that OmniStack. It is dramatic improvement of efficiency. So if somebody has 3-tier architecture, how that architecture can be optimized, the 3-tier architecture, single rack solutions, the single legacy stack can control with the 2U Simplivity DL380 rack. We'll speak about like server switches, HF for the storages, backup and dedo, WAN optimization, cloud gateway, SSD array, storage caching, and data processor protections for the backup replications. All over the solution legacy stacks is come to that 2U node. So how that can happen, we'll talk about that end to end. So this is the Simplivity architecture. We'll share you that how the Simplivity architecture works. It is 10G 10G. If you have a 2-node cluster, there is no need that sign switch. You connect with 10G to 10G node to node. 1G will go to your management, and you need a one external server for that vCenter. This is the basic LLF Simplivity architecture. If you want to like draw to more than 2 node, you need a SAN switch. You connect all 3 nodes, 4 nodes, whatever nodes we will going to implement to SAN switch, and through SAN switch we will connect that the data locality. But this is not a SAN switch. You require one only dot switch. This is the most key features. So the dot switch can make the data locality available from node to node. We'll speak about like the evolution of that hyperconvergence. So we'll talk about like how that legacy stack changed 3-tier active server, storage, HS share volume, backup dedo, WAN optimizer, cloud array, SSD, and storage cache, data protections. That all things change for the legacy stack. Then after that, it came for that integrated stack. So integrated stack, they came to again only for the change that storage switch and all are the same. After the integrated stack, we come to that hyperconvergence. In the hyperconvergence, you storage, compute, memory. You get together on this 2U node. You make a cluster, and others are available as a same. That HCI solutions is unique for that Simplivity. They do all things: data production, storage cache, SSDs, backup, dedo, HS share storage switches, and server VMware within that 2-node cluster for your rack. So this is the beauty. So full stack rack to 2U. This is the solution, and you can get all management facility, you can get the high availability facility, everything is that in the 2 unit. We'll speak about that evolutions very briefly. We'll talk about that management. So this is that the management things. So after completely implementations, we'll speak about for that how the vCenters work and how the Simplivity plugins work and how can we monitor for that the physical capacity and logical capacity, and what about that VMs are available, and that the virtual machines need to be can be delete and restore, how can be done, we'll teach you for that. After that we will take about that what the tags, the event viewer, what is coming recent tags and what is the errors, will share you on that Simplivity dashboard. So this management is that completely need to be handy who are that who are going to become a SCI technology lead. So we'll teach you and will expertise you with that management level for that vCenter. Then we'll talk about that the future of that Simplivity. There is a vCenter. The moment when you add that plugins, Simplivity plugins, there must be something add for that Simplivity features. This is the unique feature will you cannot get inbuilt solution for the none of that SCI. The backup, clone, move, backup policy, edit backup policy, view performance, and search backup. Those are that all that plugins, Simplivity plugins level, and very faster manner. So it's you if you something said, if you delete that one VM, if you want to restore, and how can we restore very faster way, we'll teach you for that. And if you want to make like backup policy, if you want to like make a clone VMs, so if you want to like DCDR movement the virtual machines, those all things will do you familiar with all Simplivity plugins technology. So through vCenter will teach you. So after that, there is some things are there available for that protections. So every industry, the people who are taking like HCI or non-HCI, protection might be is there. So we'll tell you about what the backend protections are available. So already I brief about that 1 TB VM restore with 1 minute. So if whatever the VMs are there, the VM protections, what are the backend, will teach you. Then we'll do that FLR, the file level restore. If you have a like 1 TB VM, if you want to only restore that a single VM, that single VM file, if you have only Word file or Excel file, you want to restore that back to that same VM. So the FLR also there is a unique technology for that Simplivity, very easy. So that support till to the single file need to be 32 GB. The below 32 GB file, how can be restored for that? The particular target VM will reach you. Then if you talk about like hard disk failures, so the backend Simplivity has designed RAID 6. So this is the unique features are there in this HCI. But others, if you talk about HCI, they don't want to work with RAID environment. They work with RAIN environment. So this is the unique solution. RAID 6 is backend. Two hard disk failover sustainability at the same time. This is the future. And we'll talk about that DCDR applications. So in other HCI solution, you have like the DCDR application is a like different license, or you have to buy a third-party license. But Simplivity has its own future for the DCDR applications. So it helps to the replication how can be done, and how can be restored also from DR to DC, DC to DR. Will teach you for that DC-DR replication. The data locality feature already we spoke about that, but we'll brief you like how the data locality is happening and how the backend data locality process is working. Will teach you. After that, the dedupe compressions has own tools, because the OVC has a like own dedupe compression ability. So it up to 75%, 9% it do for that DB. If you talk about the SQL DB, if Oracle DB, they can compress, but image, videos, you cannot get like 70 to 90. You can get lesser. But for DB, there is a surety. It is 75 to 90%. We'll speak about for the dedupe compression very proper manner. Then we teach about like the Simplivity in infrastructure management perspective, like what the other components are there, and who are that other solution, how they work, and the Simplivity, how the comparisons. So you talk about like Nutanix, you talk about like the VxRel. So in the Nutanix, you have like that there is a like all are called like third-party backups. Either you have to buy Commvault, Veritas, or Avamar or data domain. But HPE Simplivity has their own. The data replication is like backup and recovery has your own. You can utilize that. And the DCDR disaster recovery is the same things like you have like SRM, VMware, or we buy to the Zoto. So as of now, Simplivity is our own disaster recovery environment. We'll speak. But nowadays, Zoto has been merged by HPE. So we'll all feel on that single solutions. So we'll teach you with all that disaster recovery, how that will optimize. That when optimizer. So if you looking about that all other ICS solution, will do for that when optimizer by riverware something like third parties, but Simplivity has your own ability for that when optimizers. So that all solution with the comparisons, Simplivity is that unique solution to comparison that market. So we'll preach you for that comparison sheet and the workflow charts. So we are here for that comparisons and work how that can be happens. So we'll share you that all end-to-end knowledges. So is that Simplivity, because of that Simplivity is that game changer hyperconverged systems. So we'll teach you for that how that Cisco Hyperflex work. I am also the Cisco Hyperflex certified. So we can comparison for that how that Cisco Hyperflex work. Then Nutanix, I am certified with the Nutanix also. It's I am a system core engineer for that Nutanix. So we'll share you about the Nutanix knowledge also. What are the comparison with Simplivity and Nutanix. So that can be helpful for that completely as a globe. What the ICI solutions are there. NetApp is there, Hitachi is there, PureStore is there, VMware, vSAN is there, Fusion Cube is there, Oracle XLogic is there. There was HP Store Virtuals, but now the Store Virtuals is not being HP. They focused for the Simplivity only. There is a sunk for HCI, but there is very less market. 8K PC, it was introduced in market, but now there is no more 8K PCs there. So only the Simplivity is the HCI core technology available as of now in the great market. Will preach you for that end-to-end solution for that HPE Simplivity. Let's have a session for all things. Then will come together for all. There is a if you say about like the Gartners, will find out like what the Gartner rating for that Simplivity as a CI solution. It's Gartner certified, so we can find out that. And we'll share you like all technical things on the prerequisites, instructional guides, what is the recommended for that before going to do that plan of actions. So because for if you are the Simplivity techie, so you have that completely core knowledge before going to that steps. So we'll do like completely readiness as a completely fighter with the HPE Simplivity technology will build you. So you are that technology challenges for that learning to completely all SCI solution. Will please for that SCI as a Simplivity, what could be done for that prerequisite before going to that sites. So that will help you for your that fully confidence as a HCI specialist. Will after that to how that looks after deployments will share you is like if you did you went to the customer side, if it comes to that what is the first page because you don't know how what will becomes on the first, so we'll share you what is the first things, what is the needs to be done on that first configuration part, so that will be helping for that deployment perspective. Then after that, slowly, gradually, what were the settings, the capacity planning, so that data restorations, all things will preach you what is the usual space, free space, what can the processors are running. So will help you for that data uses, all things. So that can help you for technologies for your the Simplivity cluster. Then already I told you about the file level illustration. We'll teach you for that file level illustration. What is that? And for that, we will the top use cases. Will say you for that who are that using for that Simplivity for the data center consolidation. It is for the robo and it's for VDI. It's all that the horizontal and vertical section that HPE. So already Gartner certifications and what is the recognized market leads or we have, you can find out that what is the market leads. So that will help you for that. So already spoke about the Simplivity model types. So before your deployment, you have to find out your what are the models and what could be the hardware. So before going to start that key points, will share you that Simplivity model types. So will become like a good techie for that. So not if you learn that Simplivity will be in the over the globes. So we are here for your. So we will not do that models perspective. We will teach you for that all technology specialist. So give you like the game changer for that all SCI solution, and we expect for you as a Simplivity learner will be in the world. Hare Krishna. This is my self Krishna Babaji. It's the end to slide. Thank you.